We're continuing on with our lesson on continuous random variables, and today's lessons we're looking at the normal distribution curve. Now, what is this normal distribution curve? The normal distribution curve is a curve that shows all the possible probabilities that can happen within this kind of structure, and everything that can be collected in data can be normally distributed. And the normal distribution shows you about how all the data collected is within 100% of the range. When it comes to the normal distribution, it's important to understand the basics of it, so that way when you do some calculations later on with your calculator, you know that your answer is correct according to the basic knowledge that you know of the normal distribution curve. So what we're going to go over in this video today is we're going to go over how the normal distribution curve is made up, what it's made up from, and what all the different parts of the curve mean. So when it comes to a normal distribution curve, the first thing you should notice here is it's always going to be symmetrical around the centerpiece. And this centerpiece here is what we call the mean. Now, all normal distribution curves have means. The means may be in different positions according to the number line. However, it's always going to be that center part of the curve, and it's always symmetrical on either side of that curve in terms of the mean. The second piece of information you get on the normal distribution curve is something that we call the standard deviation. And the standard deviation is how far each movement is from the mean. And the way that we work this out here is if we look at it as a number line, everything to the right of the mean is positive, everything to the left is negative. So the first point here is what we would call a mean plus one deviation. So it's mean plus one deviation at this point. Then it's mean plus two deviations, and mean plus three deviations. Now, when it comes to the the distribution curve, we only have 3 points that we worry about on either side of the curve. So in this case here, this will become mean time minus deviation, mean times two lots of deviations, and mean time minus three deviations. Now, when it comes to the normal distribution curve, these things are constant, they never change. It's always going to be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 deviations, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3 deviations. Another thing that's constant when it comes to the distribution curve are the percentages that lie in each of the curves. Now, according to your textbook, they may change, but what I'm going to be telling you here is generally the value we're looking for. Between the first point from the mean to the deviation, this here is approximately 34.13% on either side. Then between the first deviation and the second deviation, this here is approximately 13.59%. Between the third and the fourth, it's approximately 2.15%, and this here is approximately 0.15%. So altogether, this here is approximately 50% of your range. This here is also 50%. So this here, in a lot of cases, is where we consider things that are on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. However, in normal distributions, we have these three units that we can use to help us calculate quickly. We have what's called the 68, the 95, and the 99.7 distribution. The first point is from one deviation away from the mean on both sides, that represents approximately 68%. When it's two deviations from the other side, it's approximately 95%. And when it's three deviations from either side, that's 99.7%. So what this means here is that 68% of the data is from the mean 1 deviation away. 95% of the data that's been caught is 2 deviations away from the mean, and 99.7 is 3 deviations. Now, these two will add up to that one whole 100%, and when it comes to the normal distribution curve, these are the 3 ones that are commonly used. What does change when it comes to normal distribution curve? What changes are your mean and your deviation. They're the only things that change, the values that come down here. Everything else that's up on this board here remains constant. And that's really important to understand, because when we start doing some calculations in later videos, we're going to be using our understanding of this distribution curve to make sure that the answer we're getting makes sense, especially when it comes to calculations. But what we understand here today is what the normal distribution curve is, how it's made up, and what it's made up from. In our next video, we're going to look at a couple of examples on how we use the distribution curve to solve.